Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines.
Chief of Army Staff Field Marshal Syed Asim Munir has warned that any future military adventurism by India against Pakistan would face extremely dangerous, far-reaching and painful consequences. The remarks were made during a ceremony at GHQ Rawalpindi, marking 1 year since the Marka-e-Haq and Operation Bunyan Mahsus, attended by senior military leadership. Munir described the event as a clash of ideologies, saying Pakistan had emerged successful and crediting national unity and military preparedness. He also said future wars would be multi-domain, involving cyber, drones, AI, and long-range precision systems. He stressed that Pakistan's armed forces would not be intimidated. President Asif Ali Zardari and Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, in separate messages marking 1 year of Marka-e-Haq, reaffirmed Pakistan's commitment to national defense, regional stability, and peace. President Zardari praised the military leadership and armed forces, calling their response to aggression balanced and effective. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif described the occasion as a day of gratitude, saying Pakistan's armed forces stood like a steel wall in defense of the country.
A Qatari natural gas tanker has successfully crossed the Strait of Hormuz for the first time since the start of the Iran conflict, heading towards Pakistan. The development comes as Washington continues to wait for Iran's response to a proposed framework for peace talks. Meanwhile, Kuwait says it detected several hostile drones in its airspace, despite relative calm following recent ceasefire tensions. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer says he remains committed to leading his government despite mounting pressure after major local election losses. Starmer described his administration as a 10-year project and vowed to continue, even as calls for his resignation grow within the Labour Party. The pressure intensified after a former minister threatened to push for a leadership contest unless action is taken by party leadership.
Russian President Vladimir Putin says he believes the war in Ukraine is coming to an end, speaking to reporters in Moscow after scaled-back Victory Day celebrations. He said he would only meet Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy once a final peace agreement is reached, adding that any signing could take place in a third country as a final step. Putin also accused Western countries of fueling the conflict and reiterated that Russia considers its military campaign a just response to NATO expansion and security threats. At least 39 people were killed in Israeli airstrikes across Lebanon, according to the Lebanese Health Ministry, as cross-border violence with Hezbollah continues, despite a reported ceasefire arrangement. One of the deadliest strikes hit the southern town of Saksakieh, killing at least 7 people, including a child. Another strike in Nabateh killed a Syrian man and his 12-year-old daughter, with reports of additional casualties in follow-up attacks. The Israel Defense Forces said it targeted Hezbollah operatives and infrastructure. Lebanon says more than 120 people have been killed in the past week alone, as clashes intensify along the border. Spain has begun evacuating passengers from a hantavirus-hit cruise ship anchored near Tenerife, with health officials boarding the vessel to conduct final checks and start disembarkation, the health ministry says. Spanish nationals are being evacuated first in small groups before being transferred to the airport for a military flight to Madrid. Other nationalities, including passengers from the Netherlands, Germany, the UK and the US, will follow in phases. Authorities said the MV Hondius cleared health inspections before anchoring, with no rodents detected and a low risk of transmission to the general public. All passengers are being treated as precautionary, high-risk contacts. International evacuation flights are being coordinated, while 30 crew members will remain on board to sail the ship to the Netherlands for full disinfection. US intelligence agencies believe Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, has been involved in shaping Tehran's wartime strategy and negotiations with Washington. The report, citing sources familiar with assessments, says Khamenei has remained largely out of public view after sustaining injuries during the conflict, but is still believed to be communicating through trusted intermediaries. Iranian officials, however, say he is recovering well and dismiss speculation about his health. US assessments also suggest Iran's military has been weakened by strikes, but retains operational missile capability, while senior Revolutionary Guard figures are managing day-to-day governance amid ongoing diplomacy with the US.
Britain has announced the deployment of warship HMS Dragon to the Middle East amid ongoing tensions in the region. The air defence destroyer is expected to support a potential multinational mission aimed at protecting shipping routes in the Strait of Hormuz. Officials say the move is part of wider preparations as concerns over maritime security continue to grow. The US Treasury has announced sanctions against 10 individuals and companies, including several in China and Hong Kong, over accusations they aided Iran's efforts to secure weapons and the raw materials needed to build its Shahed drones and ballistic missiles. In a statement, Treasury said it remained ready to take economic action against Iran's military-industrial base to prevent Tehran from reconstituting its production capacity. It also said it was prepared to act against any foreign company supporting illicit Iranian commerce, including airlines, and could impose secondary sanctions on foreign financial institutions that aid Iran's efforts, including those connected to China's independent teapot oil refineries. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.